Good evening and welcome to Den Connection. I'm Jordan Miller. The jack-o'-lanterns are up and the ghosts and ghouls are coming out, which can only mean one thing: Halloween is here. From haunted places, creepy miniatures, costume shops, and a business that may boo you, Denton has a lot to see this Halloween. But before Halloween was even mentioned, Denton held their annual North Texas Fair and Rodeo. With it came games, food, and bull riding. Here's Hannah Minch, Andrew Fancher, and Tim Banzon to recap you on what happened.
Live country music, amusement rides, and funnel cakes are among the many attractions at the North Texas Fair and Rodeo.
But the heart of the Denton Fair lies here, in the arena.
In this year's Bull Blowout, 25 riders competed for a championship buckle and $2,000.
I've won about 3-4 buckles, so first place 3-4 times. I think it's after the 8 seconds is done, you get off and you know you did good and you hope for the best score you can.
A qualifying bull ride is 8 seconds long and scores between 0 to 100 points.
I won here 97, I think it was, 98, somewhere in there. The Bulls Night Out is a big, big deal. It sells out standing room only every year. So it'll be a packed house tonight.
As an attendee, Willie is here to watch his grandson compete against 6 junior champs.
Well, the reason that's exciting is because it's kind of challenging. Yeah. I like challenging stuff.
As for one of Evan's competitors,
I'm going to try to defend my world champion because I won it last year. And that's all I'm not worried about. Yes, sir.
In all, nearly 44,000 people attended the 9-day rodeo, bringing with it the Halloween cold front. Texas entertainment and family tradition meet as one within the Denton Fairgrounds.
And if you missed this year, check out ntfair.com for more information on 2021's livestock attractions.
For many, Denton is starting to look spookier this season. But for those who've lived here a while, they know that Denton has some legends within. You don't need Halloween to find these haunted places, but you will need some courage. Oscar Lopez and I checked out a couple of these places to learn more.
Denton is home to beautiful buildings and rich history, but the history of certain areas may be darker than you think. With the pandemic halting many normal Halloween activities, why not take yourself on a scavenger hunt to some of Denton's most haunted places?
We may think we know these streets because we walk them every day, but there's much more that we don't know, much more that we can't know.
The first of Denton's haunted places is one that you've probably been to many times and is a staple of Denton culture, the courthouse on the square.
The rumors is that downstairs where the old holding cells were, that there's some presence that lurks down there.
With John B. Denton's gravesite right nearby, the courthouse is said to house many spirits, and sometimes people are even able to see them.
When I would lead the tours on the around the courthouse square there, every so often someone would say, I saw something up in the bell tower, right? I saw something moving around up there.
While the haunted courthouse is right in the center of Denton Square, another one of the city's famously haunted places lies just on the outskirts of Denton, Goatman's Bridge.
Goatman's Bridge is one of the most iconic haunted places in Denton. The gruesome story of a lynched goat farmer haunting a local bridge brings many visitors and skeptics.
There's always been long-standing tales about the Goat Man. There's been plenty of reports of lots of supernatural activity. People will see glowing eyes, they'll hear hooves in the darkness. There's also reports of just lots of super strange activity, sounds and things.
To draw out the Goat Man, locals have a long-standing creepy tradition that supposedly increases your chances of glimpsing the ghost himself.
If you go to the bridge and you knock 3 times on the metal trusses of the bridge, that supposedly summons the Goat Man.
Many people go out of their way to come here just for the chance to spot the Goat Man. But you might pass another one of Denton's haunted buildings without even knowing it, just by taking a visit to the square.
The theater, whenever it started, the campus theater started, there was a man, the mischievous manager.
Mr. Harrison, the mischievous manager, left a lasting impression on the campus theater and its plays, even after his death.
And after he passed, there were people that worked there that would report that they continued to see him or feel his presence. And so lots of like wild stories about, lights not working and then suddenly working and then going off, and then stories about things getting moved around. But again, one of the ways that the theater folk deal with it is they actually consider it bad luck if Mr. Harrison doesn't make himself known.
Sean says he tells these intriguing stories because even if the ghosts aren't real, what they represent can be a helpful reminder of the past.
They help to remind us of things that we've maybe forgotten too much.
With so many ghosts lurking around Denton, it's hard to feel lonely. And whether you believe in vengeful spirits or not, Denton's history is full of interesting stories and strange places to visit. And who knows, maybe you'll spot a ghost the next time you're on the square.
When we come back, we'll show you a couple of businesses that'll help you get into the Halloween spirit. Stick around. Welcome back to Denton Connection. I'm Jordan Miller. When you think of Halloween, you probably think of witches and ghouls walking around the street to scare you. Luckily for us, the closest we'll ever get to either is through costumes. Costumes are indeed a staple in this holiday, and one local shop has enough costumes for the whole year. Nathan Mayer and Chance Williams have more.
Halloween falls on a Saturday this year, and usually that means there'd be people all over the place. But COVID has other plans for us, and it's going to be looking a little different this year.
It's the beginning of the holiday season, technically, so that's what I love about Halloween.
Brian's love for Halloween is matched by the love he has for Denton's most adored costume shop, Rose's Costumes.
With the community theater, I've definitely used Rose costumes pretty much for every show.
Brian says that the Denton Community Theater, or DCT, uses Roses as their first choice and breaks down the financial process for the theater.
Well, DCT has like an open tab up there, so for each specific show you're allotted a certain stipend for like costumes, and the costumes, you know, they have a budget of say $1,500 for a specific musical or something like that, and they open a tab at Rose Costumes, and then the theater just closes it out once the costumes are used and returned.
With all the respect Brian has for the shop, his respect comes from his feelings about the costumes that Roses provides.
Honestly, you can tell that they're handmade. Like, you can tell that the heart was put into it. Like, even wearing it, they're not uncomfortable. Like, sometimes you have to wear a costume that's really hot, and you don't, you're gonna be sweating bullets the whole time, but they make them comfortable to fit. It's just, you can tell. It's like your grandmother made the costume.
And Grandma often knows best in life, but according to Brian, who's lived in Denton since 2004, considers owner Judy Smith one of Denton's most important people.
Oh, they've been around here since I can remember, and Judy, who's the owner and founder of Rose Costumes, she's just like a staple of Denton.
Due to Rose's remaining closed to the public, owner Judy Smith wanted to maintain social distance during the pandemic and was unable to interview. However, Brian is still optimistic on how business is going.
I know, especially this time of year, it's really hard for them. But knowing what they do and how they do their fittings and stuff like that, they're probably still managing really well.
With all the social distancing rules in place across the city, Brian had an interesting take on how to get out and have some fun.
Well, we're all wearing masks anyways. Every day's Halloween in Denton.
With COVID keeping so many things closed down, including Roses, let's just hope that things get back to normal soon so we can start enjoying the holidays again. For NTTV, I'm Nathan Mayer.
Besides witches and ghosts, another frightening figure has to be haunted dolls. Thankfully, Reaper's Miniatures focuses more on figurines than haunted dolls. Here's Shania Khan and Theodore Stalinsky with more.
Fantasy style and role-playing games are well known around the globe. For Reaper Miniatures, a global American manufacturer with their headquarters and factory located right here in Denton, Texas. Crafting plastic figurines, which include fantasy and science fiction figures, they show us how they go above and beyond with their pieces, as well as their unique approach and offers to the community of Denton that make them stand out compared to other manufacturers.
Reaper Miniatures has been around for 27 years. They started outside, out of their garage and whatnot, and then around 2006, 2007, they actually moved up here to Denton for their factory. We produce a miniature which is used for role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and whatnot. Most of our figures come unpainted, and a lot of people just enjoy the hobby of painting the figures. And we normally have a weekly paint club where we have some of our staff painters come out and just to be able to engage and help give pointers to people. The metal and stuff we order in ingots, so it's just blocks of pewter and stuff that we just melt down. The paint, we make most of the paint in-house. Plastic is one of the lines that we do, whether it's the bases and some of the figures. Outside of that, we also would host in the game store D&D sessions and stuff like that people are able to come out here instead of inviting 6 or 7 players over to your house or apartment. May not be an option, and we were able to facilitate some of that. So it definitely helps.
The game store, highly known for allowing others to play face-to-face with each other, has come to a full halt due to the current global pandemic. But that hasn't stopped the store from compromising their system and have adapted to new and safe procedures such as curbside and online orders. With Halloween just around the corner and Fantasy World gamers checking in to see what their favorite game store has in stock, despite their normal spooky traditions being compromised, they are still trying their best to deliver Halloween spirit to their clients.
We have what we call a ghoulie bag for customers that order $40 worth of product, that we send a goodie bag that has candy, a few free paint bottles, and a free figure. And then we do a trick-or-treat figure mystery gift that you're either getting a cool little figure or you're getting a trick of like a rock or a stick. And a lot of people are very happy to get the rock because it's quite literally a rock that's been put into one of our blister packages. And it's kind of, who does that type of thing funny, but a lot of people really enjoy that.
Although the current global health crisis has put a dent in many businesses, the Reaper Game Store has exciting changes in mind for the future.
The game store, going from about 12 to 1,400 square feet, will now be going upwards of 5,500 square feet, with about 1,500 square feet of that becoming a pizza bar restaurant area. So we'll have food connected to our game store on top of a much larger game store and play area.
Reaper is not only based in Denton to provide a fun place for gamers to enjoy, but also has a positive impact by giving back to the community, as they used to put on large charity fundraisers and hope to continue to do so when safe in the future.
Everyone comes up here and we're just here all night playing games. One of the years we did stuff for Extra Life, which was, charity stuff to help raise awareness of whether it's cancers, AIDS, or just childhood medical issues, stuff like that, of hey, gaming can help, whether you get through something or just to be with friends and have a reason to get together. Those were always big ones that stuck out to my mind. We did one at Halloween and everyone came dressed up as stuff, and it was just a silly, very long night, but lots of fun. Hopefully the game store and factory just get to keep growing and bringing more people into the stuff that we obviously enjoy and love.
For NTTV, I'm Shania Khan.
When we come back, we'll show you how people in Denton are staying safe this Halloween. Stay with us.
What is creativity?
The ability to probe into something you don't know, to answer questions previously not answered.
And resist the temptation to say what everybody else has said.
Using the different mediums, combining the different mediums.
It's taking what we have and reassembling it and using it in a different manner.
Describes what free people do.
It has something to do with dreaming. It's actually what life's all about.
This year, Halloween isn't quite the same due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Although some places aren't open or trick-or-treating, others are finding new ways to celebrate while staying safe. Here's Cami Farrell and Caleb Velez with more.
If you're looking for a way to get some Halloween treats this season, maybe without trick-or-treating, this Denton bakery has some options for you.
Samantha Cutler owns Heavenly Tailored Sweets and has had a storefront for the past year in Denton. Each treat starts with a recipe, and after adding some secret touches and mixing the batter, they are on their way into the oven. These treats can provide kids and adults with a safe holiday activity in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. But it isn't the first year she's made them.
We really enjoy celebrating the holidays with people, whether it's Halloween, Christmas, Easter. I like being festive. So years ago, I actually started making paint your own cookies, which are an oversized sugar cookie where they have a little paint palette on one side, and then we include a little paintbrush, and it's a black and white design on the rest of the cookie, and all you need is a little bit of water, and you can color your cookie. And when you're done, you get to eat it. So that is really fun, but they add up quickly if you've got a lot of kids or you're wanting to do it for a party or a get together. And so we started doing the cookie kits, which are undecorated sugar cookies, a couple of colors of icing, and then some sprinkles so that the kids can ice themselves.
Thank you. Okay, we gotta tie this one up.
So I'd recommend one of those, especially if you're wanting to do something without getting out and seeing people.
And our cookies, and then our 3 colors of icing.
And before you know it, with the help of her mom and daughter, those treats are heading out the door. Another option is to visit the Card Pixies Facebook page to order a boo package for your yard. Or, in the spirit of booing tradition, your neighbors.
We're the Card Pixies. We launched in July, and basically what we do is we celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, Halloween, Christmas, everything like cards in your yard. So instead of sending a card or writing something down, you just hire us and we stake it in the yard. When we launched the Boo package, it has been around for a couple of years now, and it got really popular this year because of COVID-19, which it just allows families to still celebrate Halloween, and the kids still get that excitement from a distance. It just opens and it kind of gives you the instructions on what Boo is and how to boo.
The Cards Candy and Card Pixies come to your yard at night, so those inside can find a sweet treat in the morning. Maybe this Halloween season, you can find someone to boo. And while it's always fun to receive treats, it's also important to give. This Halloween, Denton Love Packs is asking for food donations.
On Halloween, we have the drop-off, which is between 10 and 4 at our location, which is at 719 Wainwright in Denton. You could just drop off anything that you want to donate, and we will be there to take it. And then also we had passed out a bunch of flyers, and it was for an event called Trick or Treat so kids can eat. And so we passed out flyers in different neighborhoods, and we asked them to leave any food they want to donate on their porch, and we're going to come by in the morning and pick it up.
Some of Love Pack's requested items can be found on this list. However you celebrate Halloween, be sure to be safe and spooky. For NTTV, I'm Cami Farrell.
Thank you for tuning in this evening with us here at Denton Connection. We hope to see you all again on November 20th. Until next time, I'm Jordan Miller. Have a good night.